Sorry.
It sounded like the phone was buzzing.
Bzz, bzz. Should I do that?
Do it. Hello, and welcome to Did You Mean to Say That, the podcast where we did not mean to say that. I'm your co-host, Bobby.
And I'm your co-host, Erin.
Welcome back, guys.
We have another chill up in store for you today. This is very much a morning after podcast.
Yep, and by morning, we do mean 5:30 p.m. I woke up at like 2:30 today.
To be fair,
The time changed, so I woke up at 1:30.
So I was up till 5 a.m., but it was really like 4 a.m., you know?
Yep, I was up till late. I don't even know.
Late.
We had a fun weekend.
We sure had a jam-packed weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had our best friend Taylor's birthday party last night, and it got crazy. I saw a lot of people there, like, more drunk than I've ever seen them. Not ever, but, like, it was rowdy for sure.
It was rowdy.
It was really, I had a great time. Like, it was really fun. We rented, like, the upstairs of a bar. And we definitely reached the minimum because those drinks were so fucking expensive.
Alone reached the minimum.
Everyone I talked to was like, yeah, my tab was like 120 to 150. And I was like, that's great for one person.
Yeah, the drinks were expensive.
It was really, really fun though.
It was really fun. And we got these little party favors, the sunglasses I'm wearing.
They're really nice sunglasses. Mm-hmm. This was like a really sick party favor.
Yeah.
And the koozies that had her baby picture on them.
Yeah.
They were so cute. I heard the cake was really good.
Didn't hear a peep about cake.
I didn't taste it at all.
You guys.
I have more to say about last night, but like we have to address the cake.
Yeah.
I've told several people like who've talked to me about the cake. I'm like, you guys, I have an insane update about the cake. You have to tune into the podcast because I can't tell you right now. But we have a cake update from the episode a few episodes ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I was up till, like I said, like 5:30, and I'm just like dead today. Like I'm not hungover because I had like 2 shots, but
You had 2 shots.
Yeah, but I did take a shot of Fireball at like 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
And I need you guys to know that like I might become a Fireball girl.
Whatever it's gonna take,
like,
but
I love cinnamon like bad. Like and like oh my God. I bought they were basically like Swedish fish but cinnamon, and they're so spicy, and they're called cinnamon dragons from Trader Joe's, and
you love it.
I'm like drooling. I'm like because it's so hot, but it's so good to me. So like the Fireball really hit like a different place.
Were you still out when you took the Fireball shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because our friend brought a case of mini bottles of Fireball into the bar somehow.
Yeah.
And I walked over to Jamie at one point. She was carrying around a full Ulta bag. And I was like, what is this? And she's like carrying it like this, like laying on it, like
it's a
protecting
baby.
it with her life. But then she had like that and a case of the 6 Fireball. And I'm just
amazing.
Like, what's going on?
I took a cherry bomb last night. I love
got
cherry
a lemon
bomb.
drop.
Yum.
I
They
don't
do
even
have
know
good drinks there, I will say.
Wait, isn't a cherry bomb just a Giner bomb?
Yep.
Okay, exactly. If you know, you know.
It's all connecting.
It's all connected for sure. I can't decide if I have a story about last night. I don't know if I want to put it so early in the episode just in case like they watch, but I have a story about last night that is like so crazy and I want to tell it, and I'm in that weird place that we always talk about between like I want to share things because it's content. This is my podcast and it's a good story. But, like, I know this person, and it's just, like, weird, and, like, they would know it was about them. Mm-hmm. And then teetering back and forth between they don't watch, so, like...
Yeah.
And no one else would know that it's about them. So I'm going to tell it to you, and I'm just going to see in editing if I'm going to keep it in. That's kind of, like, my plan. But I'm also just, like, just go for it, girl. Like, I feel like... I've seen Tara Yummy, who I've told you about, and Tana, like, go through a transition... where they talk about people they went to high school with because, like, they just don't know them anymore. And they're like, I don't fucking care what they think of me. Like, I hate them. They were mean to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to, like, get into that phase where I'm like, I would rather make, like, good content for something that I care about than save face with people I went to high school with.
That's so true. But they're, like, loaded and famous.
Right.
But they didn't get loaded and famous by hiding stuff, I guess.
There's a TikTok sound that literally is like Tara Yummy is a mindset. And like it's like this whole thing. And she just had like a party and they all had like stickers that said that. And I'm just like, did you mean to say that is a mindset? And maybe I won't have meant to say it afterwards, you know? Mm-hmm. All this to say, here's my story. Maybe we'll keep it in or we won't. So this girl gets there last night. Haven't seen her in years. Was close with her in like high school and like a little bit post high school, but it's probably been like 8 years since we were like friends. Mm-hmm. And even then, like, weren't that close, right? And then our other friend last night, God rest her soul, was so drunk, actually passed away at the party. Like,
wait, who?
I go downstairs to pee, and she's in the bathroom with the girl that I just explained our lore. Let's give her an alias. Her name is gonna be
Sally.
I was literally thinking Sally.
Were you really?
Which is so... I was literally gonna say Sally, and then I was like, that's fucking weird. I'm gonna say Sarah.
That's so weird.
It's definitely Sally. Sally and... Sarah, whatever. So Sarah, blacked out, drunk, is in the bathroom with Sally and another girl. And me and my two friends, Chloe, if you will, from our last episode, which was awesome, by the way. We have so many views. If you haven't seen that, go check that out right now. It was such a good, fun episode.
People loved her.
I loved her, too. Like, I loved our dynamic. I want to have her on more. Like,
she's like our Trisha Paytas.
She's our Trisha Paytas. She is definitely such a good recurring guest.
It got rave reviews.
It really did get rave reviews. Do you know what's so crazy? A straight as can be man walked up to me last night and was like, yo, your podcast is funny as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, there is no way that you watch our podcast. Like, don't lie to me right now. And then we were like, Chloe was just on. She was standing right there. He was like, yeah, I'll watch that one. I don't think he watches our clips. But like, that was just so funny. When straight men tell me that they love our podcast, I'm like,
I've never experienced a straight man
talking
to me or telling me that they love the podcast.
Why are you as a man tuning into Did You Mean to Say That?
Yeah.
We love you.
We want the views.
Such a slay. Anywho, Sally and Sarah and this other girl are in the bathroom. We go downstairs to pee. Sarah is like so fucking drunk and she's like, come in here. So we have 6 girls in this bathroom. Sarah has thrown up into the toilet and it is still in the toilet and she's like talking to us about it. And it's just kind of chaos. Like this other girl, her name's Megan. I'll use her real name because she is just in there. Like she, poor thing, was just part of everything and everything was crazy. Sarah is so fucking drunk. She's just like yelling at me and Mackenzie like about who knows what. She starts showing us like a TikTok dance and she can't stand up. Like she's literally falling all over the bathroom. We're like holding her up while she's showing us this TikTok dance. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Cause you know how I am with throw up too. So the whole time this is all going on and all I'm thinking is like, there's puke right there. Like I
wonder why they didn't flush the toilet.
I wonder why they didn't flush the toilet. So like the door's right here and like Sally and Chloe are right here. And as I'm like trying to like get around to like open the door, Sally turns to me and she says,
oh my God. I love when this happens.
It's just such a crazy thing to say in passing and like, and now I'm like anticipating what your reaction's gonna be and it's so funny. Like she looks at me and she says, there's no way.
My grandma fell down the stairs and broke
all her eyes. Okay. She turns to me and she says, my sister is bisexual. But mind you, we're so not close that she actually said her sister by name. And for a second, like, I didn't know who that was.
Right.
I've never met this girl's sister. Ever.
Okay.
Like, ever. And I literally said, I think I said, that's incredible. I have to get the fuck out of this bathroom. And mind you, Sarah's still doing this TikTok dance and, like, falling into the wall, like, and still talking to me. So, like, there's so many people talking to me at once. And, like, that, I didn't register it. I didn't process it. I was just like, I have to get out of this bathroom. Like, still puke in the toilet, by the way. Not sure if I made that clear. And I walk upstairs, and Chloe runs up there, and they're still in the bathroom, and she goes, be nice to Sally, be nice to Sally. She's freaking out that she just told you that her sister's bisexual, and you, like, didn't respond. And she's, like, so upset. She's like...
What?
It took a lot of courage for me to tell her that. And, like, she just blew me off. And I was just like...
Literally everyone is bisexual. And what?
I was like, girl, like, everyone's bisexual. Like, what? And, like, why would it take you courage to tell me that your sister, who I've never met, is bi... Like, I was just like... I don't really know, like, what that is, girl, but I can't, like, deal with that. Like, I can't, like, rationalize or validate that. I'm so sorry. And she was like... Just, like, please, like, be nice. I'm like, I'm being so nice to her. We've been talking all night. Like, and I was just like, I'm so sorry, babe. That's not my burden to carry. Like, I don't know why she interpreted that situation in that way, but, like, I can't get into that right now.
Right.
Like, there's enough else going on at this party. Like.
Amen.
And she was like, well, now she's really upset about it, and she's talking to me about it, and it's my burden to carry. And I'm like, well,
no, it's not,
you
babe.
don't carry that.
We pass it on.
Pass it on back to her. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And why is it...
And
what?
Then I, like, felt weirdly, like, bad. Like, I'm like, I hope she doesn't think that I, like, don't like her. Like, I don't know. I just didn't want her to, like, feel badly about it, whatever. And then Chloe came up to me later and was like, have you made up with Sally yet? And I'm like, I haven't seen her again.
Made
and
up
like,
is crazy.
Like, if she approaches me about this, I'll talk to her about her slay bisexual sister all day. Like,
right.
I love that. Oh, we're literally all bisexual. Like, yay. But, like, no, we haven't made up. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. It was just crazy. It was really funny. And sorry, Chloe, that happened to you.
So you think, like, maybe Sally's family isn't supportive or something, and that's why it's, like, a thing?
I have no idea.
Oh, I'm just, like, making theories over here.
I haven't seen her in years. Like, I don't know anything about her family. I've never met her family. Any of them.
That's fucking crazy.
So... we'll see if I keep that in. I just think that I have to. Like, that's such a funny
It's so
story.
funny. You have to keep it in. I'm so sorry, Sally.
I know. I'm really not trying to be mean. Like, and I don't know if you are watching this and you do want to talk about it, we can talk about it.
Yeah.
However you interpreted it, I'm so sorry. But that was definitely not meant to be a slight to you or your sister. It was more about the fact that there was throw up in the toilet and I had to go. Mm-hmm. I was so overstimulated in a bathroom with 6 people screaming. And puking.
And dancing. That's amazing.
It was literally that song Water, which I hate. And she was like, do you guys know the dance to this? And just starts doing the dance. And we were like, girl, we don't.
That's not our TikTok.
But yeah, that's pretty much last night.
And then Friday night, that comes into my next topic of Ariana Grande's album came out.
Yep.
So I DJ'd a release party at the Flock, which is so back, baby.
So back, baby.
For those who don't know,
if you know, you know.
The gay bar Birdcage moved. They like opened a second location. The second location wasn't doing as well, so now they just moved it back to the original one.
We're happy to be back.
So we did the release party, and then after I DJ'd like till 2. Maddie Getz came. Love you, girl. That was so fun.
One of our loyal fans and followers.
And my bestie. The album, I guess I'll talk about.
Yeah, that's
Eternal Sunshine.
where we have to go next.
I love it so much.
I really love it.
I tried to make a top 3. Mm-hmm. And they are Eternal Sunshine.
Love it.
The Boy Is Mine. True Story.
I love
and
True Story.
We Can't Be Friends.
I love We Can't Be Friends. I
have some shit to say about that song, but say yours.
For You. And I love Eternal Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
And I like them all.
I like them all too.
There was like, when I first listened through it, like, I wasn't like obsessed with them all, but I thought in my head, like, this might be a no skip album.
Yeah.
But then I listened to like 1 or 2 again, and I was like, I don't remember what they were, but I was just like, I don't know if I'll be coming back to these. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I will eventually, but
yeah,
I love how short it is and concise.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, even if there's like a skip or 2 for you, like listening to it in full, it's like,
yeah,
you know,
it is extremely cohesive.
It fits a theme.
And
tells
it
a story.
Doesn't go like too far into a genre or like back and forth. Like,
totally.
It's very just like,
it's kind of like a perfect mix of like all the sounds that she's done before, including a little house, like with Yes and.
I'm absolutely loving it. I think it is like, it feels like healing. Like it really just
Absolutely.
feels like it's kind of calming. It's very beautiful. Like it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
I was going to talk about the song Wait for Your Love, or what is it?
Oh,
We
I
Can't
love
Be
that
Friends,
song,
Wait
too.
for Your Love.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that song's about her fans, not one of the men. Because, hold on. I didn't think you'd understand me. How could you even try? I don't want to tiptoe, but I don't want to hide. But I don't want to feed this monstrous fire. Just want to let this story die and I'll be all right. We can't be friends. I just like to pretend. You cling to your papers and pens. Wait until you like me again. Because I don't want to argue, but I don't want to bite my tongue. Yeah, I think I'd rather die. You got me misunderstood, but at least I look this good. Know that you made me. I don't like how you paint me, yet I'm still here hanging. So I think the song's about like waiting until people like stop hating her again.
I love that interpretation.
Yeah, me too.
And her saying like, we can't be friends, you guys. Like, we are not friends. You do not know me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, leave me alone. Support me as a fan, but like, you don't understand me. You don't know me.
Yep.
You don't get to make decisions about my life.
Period.
And I love that interpretation of it. I will say lyrically, I'm confused.
Like overall.
I don't know what she's saying. Like, I don't understand. A lot of people have said like, so Dalton cheated on her, and I'm like, at what point did you get that from this?
Yeah, no. People were tweeting like, it's over for you, Dalton, and stuff, and she literally came on Instagram and said, no, guys, it's not like that. Don't understand why you're interpreting the album this way.
She did say that?
Yeah, she like made a whole statement like, do not send hate to anyone that I have loved or like that you think it's about. Basically saying your interpretation's wrong anyway. Like, just stop.
Yeah, at no point did I think that he cheated on her based on the songs that I was listening to.
I think they just weren't working out, and then she found a new man.
Yeah. Kind of like a You're Losing Me
I was
vibe
just going to say
of
that.
just like
I'm crying, you turn the TV up.
Yeah, type shit. Like, he just wasn't...
He wasn't giving.
He wasn't
She
giving.
said she spent millions on therapy, and he wasn't even trying.
I do feel like what I get from the lyrics is it proves my theory of I do think that her and Dalton were done. Like,
yeah.
Whether they were separated or like fully not together, like I do believe that their relationship was over before her relationship with Ethan started. I don't think that Ethan and his wife's are over, which I think some of the lyrics are about. But...
And even if there's some overlap, like, I'm sorry, but if I'm in a relationship that sucks and I meet someone that I fall in love with, like, it's over for us and it's on for us.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, you can help cheating for sure, but like you can't help who you fall for. And like,
for sure,
not to get too real and personal and put my family's business out there, but like my dad fully met and like emotionally bonded with my stepmom like while married to my mom and having me as a child, and like it sucks, but
yeah,
like
it does
what are you
suck.
gonna do? And like that's the love of his life. Like they're locked in for life. They got 2 more kids. Like best thing that's ever happened to our family.
Yeah. So yeah,
I love the album.
Love the album. Love Ari.
I'm not wearing makeup, and I've done that like one other time before, and I deeply regretted it. And I also wore this exact outfit before, and I deeply regretted it. So for some reason, I decided to do both things today.
Okay.
So I'm just like phoning it in, but
yeah,
hopefully I don't deeply regret it.
I'll carry us for this one because I look amazing.
You look so good.
It's always the sunglasses that really complete it. And I felt like shit this afternoon, if you will. But I was like, same vibe. Like, I will regret it. Because in the last one with Chloe, like, I was same vibe, like tired, and I just wore like an oversized hoodie and was just sitting like this, and I would watch it.
That's
I was
the
like,
thing about oversized hoodies is like you always think that it's gonna be like a comfy, cozy sleigh, and you just end up looking like a fucking beached whale. Because
it's different when you're like standing up in person,
exactly,
when you can see your
like,
legs, but when you're sitting like this,
and when like this sweatshirt would normally be like longer, but because I'm sitting, it's like all bunched up, and it's just like huge.
Well, I think you look great.
Thanks, I do too. Sorry to myself. I took a picture of myself when we were at Drake, and I said, ugh. And Morgan was like, don't ever fucking do that again. If someone did that about you, you beat their ass. And I was like, that's true.
I love that.
I know.
Speaking of bettering yourself.
Oh, okay.
Levi and I last night made like this decision that every week we're each gonna pick out 3 things at the beginning of the week that we're gonna do to like better our lives. Like, even if they're really small things, like just 3 things we can be like, okay, I did those, so I feel.
Are you gonna do them? Like, are they gonna be short-term things that you do that week, or are they gonna be like, I'm gonna choose something this week that I do ongoing?
Things that we do that week. So like mine
that.
for this
so much
week,
more attainable.
the therapist that I found that I loved apparently doesn't take my insurance. So this week,
they did.
do some more consultations or at least schedule them. Second one is apply for a few jobs. The third one is go to the gym twice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I think you should really come here once instead of going to the gym.
I would do that.
I'm trying to swindle each of my friends to come here 1 time a week so that I then go like 5 times a week.
Smart.
Yeah. I just want to do the water aerobics so bad because we had so much fun doing that.
For sure.
Actually, what are you doing tomorrow? What if we just went to the class?
I could probably go to the class.
Let's go to the
We haven't been in
class.
so long. They would miss us.
We used to go to this literal water aerobics class, which you would think is for like old women, which there were a lot in there. But there's this one teacher who does it at the gym that I used to go to, that was like, it was like boot camp. It was so hard. And I'm Courtney.
Love her.
Love you, Court.
Kind of
Maybe
just
I
like
should do that too.
the weather's changing.
Yeah.
I'm changing. We're all changing.
We're all
just
waking
like
back up.
Yeah, the light is coming. That's
The
all I'll
light
say.
is coming to give back everything the darkness stole. I had a scan this week, and I
Yep.
found out that, of course, nothing is wrong except for a cyst on my ovary, which clearly I have PCOS, and no one will diagnose me with it, but that's a whole other thing. Now I'm starting to think that the bulk of my issues is because of food allergies, which is crazy. We were at dinner for Taylor's birthday, and I was like having to explain to everyone that I have food allergies because I had to like tell the waitress, I had to call ahead, I had to get special food, whatever. My food was fucking bomb though, I don't even care.
Yeah.
And we were like talking all about it, and someone was like, you guys should talk about this on the podcast. This was so interesting. And I'm like, is it my food allergies? I don't think so.
Kind of. I don't know.
But they were like, you should like start like a business about this. And I'm like, you know what's so crazy? So I'm allergic to tomato, garlic, and onion. And it's a new allergy, and like I won't go into anaphylactic shock. It's more like GI stuff, like whatever. But the GI stuff is what I've been struggling with for like 4 years now. So like, if that is the answer, that's great. But it does change my life significantly, and it sucks. But those are things that people with IBS like can't really eat either. And I was like, why isn't there like an IBS restaurant? Because like every fucking one has IBS. And what you do for IBS is eat a low FODMAP diet, which like, I don't know what FODMAP means, but it's like literally a list of food that you can and can't eat. And I'm like, there should definitely be a restaurant that like...
There probably is in like LA or something.
Yeah, in LA, I'm sure there is. Everything there just already is low FODMAP. Like everything's so fucking healthy. They're like, here's a bowl of grass, enjoy.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're like, I do.
Well, now you're going to test to make sure that they're like real allergies.
Exactly. Because if you have a food sensitivity, you can cut a food out for like, I think it's 8 weeks or something. And then you can slowly reintroduce it back in and like see if you can tolerate it now. So, like, there's kind of, like, a cleansing period with it where, like, you don't have to stop eating it forever. But with allergies, like, you just literally have no idea. Like, they either are for life or sometimes they go away. So, but it's really interesting because it's so new. And my mom, famously, not famously at all, became allergic to...
So what?
I don't remember what
We're talking about your mom.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, but this scan, I get there and they're like, oh, we're also doing an intravenous contrast
A what?
in my veins, like an IV that also puts contrast into you.
Okay.
Bitch, this has never happened to me before. They could not find a vein
That's crazy.
anywhere. They had me like strapped up, tourniquets on each arm, a team of 4 nurses in there, rolling my veins around, tapping me, squeezing me, like looking all over. When I tell you rolling my veins around, like, and they were saying that out loud too while they're doing it. And I'm like, I'm literally so close to passing out. I told them that was already probably going to happen. I have a cold cloth on my forehead, a cold cloth on my neck. And this woman comes in. She's like, her name's Rachel.
Love her.
They're like, she's worked here for like 30 years. She's the best one out of all of us. Like, if she can't find it, then
It's
we'll
not
give up.
there.
Exactly. She's never met a vein she can't find. She comes in, she finds one immediately, and she goes, but it's really deep. Oh
no.
my God.
I'm going to pass out
right now. And I was like, listen, girl, if it's going to be really hard to poke me, I am going to pass out. So, like, if you don't think you can get it, I'm not pressed about this. Like, I don't need to have this today. And she gets it, and it's, like, not enjoyable, obviously. And then they're like, there's no more needle in you. It's just plastic now. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm good. I can breathe, whatever. And then she says to the nurse, like, are you still getting too much blood return? So my blood was just going into the IV when stuff's supposed to be coming out of the IV into me. And this is so crazy. They're flushing it with saline. So they're like putting saline in my veins and I can taste it. And I literally thought I was having a stroke. Like, I thought my brain broke. Like, I was like,
oh.
They're like, yeah, you can taste it. That's like a thing. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my God.
And they finally like got enough like blood out of the way to give me the contrast. And I got the contrast, which is the craziest sensation I've ever felt. It like warms your whole, like, veins are crazy. The fact that you're putting an IV in me and I can taste it is fucked up and insane.
Yeah, it is.
So bizarre. But I got the scan. All's well.
Great.
But that was super traumatic.
That sounds like it. I think it's time for the cake story. They've been waiting.
You guys. Okay, so we have an update on the cake that we raved about from Brooke's birthday party that everyone raved about.
It was the talk of the town.
Absolute talk of the town. That I wrote a Google review about that I told you about. I wrote it right there at the party. I'm still eating the cake mid-bite. Like, this is the best cake I've ever had.
Yeah, telling everyone where to go.
Everyone. And we asked several times where the cake was from, and we did get 2 different answers.
Yeah.
But we eventually ultimately landed on Lulu's in Westchester. I literally wrote it down in my phone that for our 1-year anniversary live show, we're gonna get a cake from Lulu's. I have it in my notes right now, and I need to change it
Because
we went to like music trivia bingo the other night. Brooke and her girlfriend are there, and they're like, you're fucking famous. And I'm thinking, like, so true. We are. Like,
right.
You guys have seen the podcast. I thought she was going to be saying, because we talked about how awesome that party was and how much we loved her family, that we were, like, famous amongst her family now.
Yeah. No.
No, I was wrong. So Brooke's mom went into Lulu's and was talking about, she went to go get a cake, and she was talking about it. And the woman, like, stops her and is like, is this because of Aaron's review? And she's like, yeah, like, that was my daughter's cake, whatever. And she's like, we've gotten like 20 people in here because of that review, and we did not make that cake.
We cannot make that cake. Like, that is not what we do.
We could never. Like, they
literally
were
saying, like, thank you so much for, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the cake, but
we didn't make it.
And then she replied to you.
And then I looked at my Google review, and I still have it up. That's so funny. And they replied to my review and said, I am literally ranting and raving about it.
It's a novel, about, like, the review in itself.
To die for. Tasted like a bowl of fresh raspberries. Cannot say enough about this wonderful, wonderful cake. Love you, Lulu. With a...
Lulu says,
I left that at like 11:30 p.m. She says, hi, Aaron. We agree the cake looks amazing, but we can't take credit for this one. Not sure where it came from, but we are glad you enjoyed it. We would love for you to come try our cake sometime and let us know what you think. And now I'm like...
we absolutely have to.
We should get a cake and try it live on the podcast. 100%.
Yeah, we should get one from each for our show and then, like, compare it live.
And I do think, from what I've heard, to set the record straight, but now I don't trust anything anyone says because we've heard 2 wrong places. But I'm now getting word that it is from a spoonful of sugar. So if you're in the market for a cake much like the one we described, you're going to have to go to a spoonful of sugar. Not Lulu's. However, seems like they're very sweet people, and we're going to try their cake as well. So stay tuned for a live review of Lulu's actual cake, which apparently we have never had.
I have a crazy story that I forgot happened to me in high school that I need to share.
Okay.
We need an alias. Sean. We're going to call him Sean. Mm-hmm. My high school boyfriend. And we had a very toxic relationship for teenagers. Like, we just always fought, whatever. I don't remember why this happened, but for some reason, I gave him the garage code to my family's home, like, to get in. I forget what he was doing, why I let him in, because we were, like, on vacation.
Bobby.
Isn't that psycho of me? I forget why he was going in originally, but we get home from vacation, and this is a true story. I had, at that time, you know, like, everyone in high school had a million posters from, like, magazines on their wall and, like, from Hot Topic and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I get home, and there are Post-it notes on every single poster over every single eyeball of the people with X's on them. And he said, "'Cause I don't want anyone else looking at you." Raise your hand if you were scared. And we're, like, cool now. Like, it was in high school, and that's still crazy that happened. But
that is, like, some serial killer fucking shit.
I know. I just remembered the other day, and I was like, I have to tell that story. That was crazy. So. I'm
so scared. I thought they were going to be like, "You're so cute. Love you." Like, love notes all over. And I guess in a way, they were.
In a way, it was
but in
a
possessive, psycho, crazy way. Mm-hmm. And why do I love it?
Why do, like...
No, I'm scared.
Take some hints.
Levi, if you're out there, that's what we're looking for. Wow.
Yeah.
So I have this story that I've never told publicly, but it's genuinely one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me in my life. But, like, the person who did all the crazy shit, like, is one of my closest friends now. And I asked her one time if I could tell the story on TikTok, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't care."
Okay.
But, like, she'll never watch this. But, like, this is my debut of this story. Like, this, I've told my friends, obviously, but I have been gatekeeping this from the internet. But this, you want to talk about content? Mm-hmm. This is content.
Let's get into it.
So my toxic high school boyfriend was very much cheating on me, very much threatening suicide, manipulating me emotionally.
The big three.
My love language, if you will. And it was so toxic. And the girl that he cheated on me with was my best friend at one point. And then we would fight and we would fall out, and he would cheat on me with her, and then me and her would get back cool. Like, it was genuinely a love triangle. And it was very much like Team Jacob or Team Edward if you were Team me or Team this girl who we'll call Claire.
Okay.
So Claire and I are, like, at war. Like, we're at odds. Like, it's always that. We get back together, and he, like, allegedly, like, cuts her off completely, right? Mm-hmm. Still to this day, I'm not sure what happened. There's, like, a lot of, I don't know. But he gave her his garage code. And when his family went out of town on vacation, her and her friend went into his home and, like, slept in his bed, wore all his clothes, wrote stuff on the mirror in his shower, brought their own shower products, and then, like, left them in his toilet, pissed in his toilet, didn't flush, stole his brother's, like, toy and, like, used it as ransom. Like, if you want to get this back, you have to talk to me. Took pictures the whole time they were there and, like, posted them online. Mm-hmm. It was, like, super crazy, and everyone was just, like, acting like it was normal. And I was just like, you guys, what's going on right now?
And then this is my favorite part of the story.
They then take the photos that they took while they were in the home and put them on matching t-shirts, and then wore those t-shirts to school on the same day. Like, full evidence of a B&E. Once they wear them to school, I'm like, oh, it's over for me. They're going to murder me next. Like, that's the next step in this plan. Like, it has to be. And I tell the cop, like the school cop at the time was like one of my mom's coworkers' brothers. And even back then I was like, fuck 12. I've always known. And I like never wanted to engage, but I walked up to him and I was like, I need you to like watch over me. Like, I don't know what these bitches are on, but yeah, that's like just to this day, just such a psycho fucking story. She's amazing. I love you.
Love
she
her.
doesn't watch our podcast,
Which is surprising, actually.
She's not a podcast girl. I've told her to watch it before, but she's probably not going to. She used to get strep like all the time. And she found out like years later, there's like this thing in teens and children where there is like a psychological effect and like a connection between like having strep. I can't remember if one influences like which one influences the other, but like she was like, I totally had that. And I'm like, that's insane. Maybe that explains it. And like, she's great now. But
love you, girl, not watching.
Raise your hand if you were scared.
I was scared.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Billie Eilish at the Oscars. Looking
she looks
amazing.
Darling. The camera's just
about to die.
Almost there. Obviously the camera died, but we're back better than ever.
Hey guys. So I want to know our fans' crazy high school stories. So leave it in the comments.
And when we do our live show,
we got to start planning that.
I know we really do. We need to like pass around the mic and like let people tell their craziest fucking stories. From
I cannot
high school.
wait. We need a venue first, and then we can plan.
I have so many in mind. We're gonna be just fine.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it.
I'm so
excited. I was just
excited.
talking about it yesterday, and like I'm kind of like Chloe was literally in the bathroom last night. Like, what would it be like? And I'm like, I think it'll be really similar to Canceled, where we do like kind of a normal episode plus some games, Q&A, some guests come on and they talk about stuff. We can do audience participation, story times.
Absolutely.
Live trying the cake, maybe. I want to do that for an episode, though. Yeah. I need to do that soon. All I'll say for my next topic that isn't a topic is that I had the worst week last week. Like, that vein fucking contrast story was last week. And it was also, like, the worst week I've ever had at work, ever. And I was so close to quitting.
Damn. That's all we'll say about that.
That's all. I have two more things.
Well, I have one more little tidbit. I was listening to Guts, as one does.
As one does.
And you know how
they said they weren't going to have Olivia Rodrigo in their top 5 artists this year. They will.
Right. You know how in an All-American Bitch, she goes, I'm all right with the movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty.
That's for sure.
I always thought that was like just random that she said that. Well, I remembered where I was listening to The Archer by Taylor Swift, and cruelty wins in the movies. And I was like paralleling them, and like Taylor's song The Archer is like all of her issues and blah 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 and like how she is, and The Grudge by Olivia Rodrigo is obviously, as we've said, about Taylor Swift, so it all matches up.
What do you think that means?
I think
cruelty, what is the one in the altar? Cruelty
wins in the movies.
Cruelty wins in the movies.
Like basically saying like that's not
says,
the right thing to do.
I'm all right with the movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty, that's for sure.
It's just so specific to not be like.
It is weird.
And it's in the first song.
And I've always wondered what she meant by that, because I'm like, are you being sarcastic and you're not all right with movies that make jokes about senseless cruelty? And like, why'd you say that?
I think that's why.
Huh.
Anyway.
That is a tidbit.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna need to chew on that for a while.
For sure.
Speaking of fun fan conspiracy theories.
Okay.
This Kate Middleton thing.
She's back now and better than ever.
Turn. Okay, but no. Everything that they do during this situation, like, makes it worse.
Yeah.
She posted a photo of her and her kids that is so clearly photoshopped in a very weird way. All this weird shit with like their hands and like, I don't know, but it's just very bizarre. And I'm not invested. Like, I do not know literally anything about it. I just saw that picture this morning and I was like, what the fuck? Like, look at it.
I saw it, but I didn't really inspect it.
I didn't either. I just saw people inspecting it, but like, First of all, it's just weird. Like, it looks like AI. But somebody said that, like, all of their, like, sleeves and wrists are really weird and photoshopped. And, like, you can tell that, like, something has happened to this between, like, her hair and his arm. And then she's got a weird thing on her sleeve that you can tell that this has been photoshopped.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hello? And then they said she's not wearing a wedding ring. It's just all very bizarre.
So maybe they got divorced, and that's the whole thing.
Maybe. I have no idea.
The wedding ring thing's crazy.
And I just don't think that this is a recent photo, and I don't think that it was taken, and I think that it's photoshopped. And so
Stay tuned.
please leave your theories about Kate Middleton's disappearance in the comments below.
Yeah, we would like to know.
And finally, I'm going to end on kind of a sad note. Speaking of disappearances,
Oh.
R.I.P. Bobby Mackey's.
R.I.P. Bobby Mackey's.
It is officially closed.
Mm-hmm.
From what I understand, they are going to have a location open in Florence while they do renovations to this current building.
Yeah.
But, like, the building is just part of it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a different Bobby Mackey's. And, like, I wish them all the best. And I hope people do go. But I don't think I'm going to be one of them.
No, we'll go when it reopens, I guess.
Yeah, but even then, I'm, like, so sad. Like, I don't know how they're going to capture that vibe again. Because they're fully tearing down the building and building
Including
it again.
probably the thing under it that's like a store built on top, right?
Maybe that's got to be so unsafe. But, like, maybe it'll make it more haunted, though. Like, if you, like,
They're gonna,
disrupt
like,
that shit down there and then everything...
Well, because ultimately they're doing it like on the land. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean?
It's staying on the land. I assume that the well will stay, but if not, then I'm never going back. Like,
yeah,
that's the draw for me, is that there is a portal to hell in the basement of this honky-tonk.
for sure.
Like, where else can you find that? Levi and I were explaining it to Maddie the other night, and we were like, the floor is, like, crooked. There's carpet in there. And, like, as a bar, you're not going to put carpet in on purpose again. And we were just like, that's so part of it. Like, I don't want to go to a clean, new, good building that's not going to fall over.
Not at all.
Oh, so I'm really sad. And we didn't get to go on February 10th. So,
Nope.
like, we didn't have a last hurrah there.
It sucks.
Our last time there was really fun. And your first time.
Yep, and my last.
But I just wanted to do, like, a big shebang and, like, give her the proper send-off that she deserves.
It sucks.
I know. I'm really sad.
Rest in peace, Robert Mackerel.
Rest in peace, Robert Mackerel. We love you and your carpet. I am quite heartbroken about it, I will say.
Absolutely.
Rest in peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. And tell them to watch last week's episode, too, because we're really proud of it.
Yep.
And all of our episodes, we're really proud of them.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. See you in the next one. Bye. Love you. Cool.